My name is Carol Barreyre, and I write as Addison Brae, and I write romantic suspense for new adult and young adult, contemporary. So I can share my screen and show you a little bit. Let's see if I can get this right. Can you see? I'm just going to show you a couple of slides. I'm not going to spend all of this time on PowerPoint. But the time that I have with you guys, can you hear okay? The time that I have with you guys, I'm going to talk less about my books and my writing and more about a topic that I'm really passionate about and that I'm hoping that some of you guys will also be passionate about, and it's the power of books to move a nation. And so as I was introducing myself, that's me. I'm a Texas girl through and through. I grew up in Longview. I graduated from Baylor. I live on the outskirts of downtown Dallas right now is where I settled. I spent a year in England, so I have a little bit of life outside of our fair state. But I am definitely a Texas girl. I have 2 young adult books coming out in 21 and 22. One is called Off Edge, and it's about an Olympic winning figure skater, a young woman who loses her medal because of an adoption scandal. And it's all about her fight to regain her medal, learn about who she really is, and regain what she loves in life, which is skating and the ability to compete. The other one is called Discovering Kate, and that one will be out in 22. My 2 new adult books are Romantic Suspense, Barreyre Circle, and Dark Energy. They are a series, and they're fun. They're based on life in Dallas, so they're set here in the city. So the topic that I'm really passionate about, and I really would like for just to share a few remarks on this topic, and then I'm hoping that you guys will jump in and create a discussion around this. But, have you ever read a book, and you can unmute so you can talk, we can have a bit of a conversation. Have you ever read a book that just really dramatically affected your mood? Maybe you watched a movie, or, these days it's news reports, and it's everything, it's conversations, it's everything that we see. And or a song, maybe it's a song that inspired you to, change your career or gave you courage to change a problem relationship that you were facing. But right now, and everyone knows what we've been going through over the last year. Right now, people are still feeling so lonely and so isolated. The anxiety and the depression and substance abuse and other issues that have skyrocketed over the last year have really affected me. And it made me realize what a strong voice authors have and what a strong voice librarians have, booksellers, anyone who has basically anyone who can speak to the public about reading and about books. So, people are facing struggling economies, losing family members, friends. Students are struggling because they've been learning at home. Now some of them are in a hybrid environment and making those adjustments. Extracurricular activities have been canceled. They haven't been able to interact with their friends like they had before. And, a lot of times people forget that children's moods are also, depending on how their parents are handling situations, those moods can also affect their children. So since this is a Society for Children's Book Writers and Illustrators booth, and by the way, welcome to the booth. I'm glad you guys stopped by. I'm going to focus more on how these topics are affecting children. And I'm going to show you some pretty shocking statistics, and these are all recent. And I won't read all of these. Can you see the statistics?
Yes.
Okay. And I have these and a few others on a blog on my website, but take a second and read these, and then I'm going to turn the screen, the share off.
Wow.
Yeah. And, if you notice, this isn't just teens that this is affecting. They're also, this statistic, 24% of mental health issues rose for 5 to 11-year-olds. That's just staggering to me. So, what I wanted to talk about is, people are vulnerable right now. We're susceptible to fear. We're also susceptible to encouragement and hope. And this is where I really feel strongly that authors, librarians, booksellers can help. At the minimum, books should provide an escape from whatever, reality people are facing right now, day to day. And, those of you who are authors, I know that there are a few here on the Zoom, but, conflict, we're taught to have conflict in every scene, on every page. But, right now, news reporters are spending way too much developing that conflict and creating a situation that, honestly is a little, out of proportion to the way things really are. And it's causing a lot of hate, a lot of fear, a lot of mistrust. And so my feeling is, as authors, if we can promote books and if we can write books in ways that people handle conflict in healthy ways, or at least learn from handling conflict in unhealthy ways. And then, authors have a voice. Think about readers will hear and use that voice in a responsible way. And then for librarians, your customer base is extremely vulnerable right now. I know that libraries in Dallas just reopened, so, it's been a virtual relationship for the last several months. But if librarians can take a moment and promote books, put lists together on social media, displays in the library, books that are positive and instill hope and optimism, I think we really can make a difference. And, using the power of persuasion, so storytelling really can impact conflict, but only in good ways. And I think we can have a long-term effect on the mental state that people are in the United States right now, and in Texas specifically.